What's going on, guys? It's your girl Nesh here, and today I'm giving you a video, and this is different. This is different because it's my first time doing this. It's story time, guys. I'm going to give you guys a story. The story is when I first got pregnant with Nige. Let's talk about that. So I got pregnant, guys, when I was 19. That's when I found out I was pregnant. So let's go back to the beginning. How did I find out I was pregnant? Of course, you know what you gotta do to get pregnant. So me and his dad, whatever. Shortly after that, you know, I was a little frantic because we had sex unprotected. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy me a Plan B. I went to the store. I grabbed the Plan B. Took the Plan B. After that, like it says, use it within 48 hours. I thought I'd be fine. I actually didn't go to the store and buy the Plan B until about 3 days later. But I still thought I was good. All it said was the sooner you take it, the better. I took the Plan B. You know, I thought I was fine. After a week or two, I started feeling like real funny. Like my chest was so like tender, like the nipple part. I don't want to be so, but this is a real channel, guys, so this is what you guys gonna get from me. So my nipples were so tender, like I couldn't lay on my chest at all. All the symptoms that you would have if you were pregnant was the same symptoms Plan B said would be the side effects to taking the Plan B. So I thought everything was normal. It was bad, guys. It was bad to the point I couldn't lay down. I had to lay on my back when I went to sleep, and I still didn't put all the pieces together and figure it out that, you know, I could possibly be pregnant. That was just out of my mind. So time goes by. I just end up saying something about it because at this point I'm like, I need to go to my doctors. I need to see what's going on. So I end up telling my mom, like, Mom, you know, my nipples are very like tender. I don't know what's going on, but they're sore. I can't lay on them or whatever. So she was looking at me funny, like, I don't know what that is. Did your period just come off? You know, sometimes that can happen when your period come off. So I said, I don't know what it is. I said, maybe I should go to the doctor. She's like, yeah, maybe you should. I said, all right. So I'm looking at her like maybe she thinks I'm pregnant at this point, and I'm not pregnant. I was just so for sure that I was not pregnant. Before I went to the doctor, I said, you know what? Let me just go to the store, get me a pregnancy test, rule this out right now. I went over to CVS. I got me a pregnancy test. I took the first pregnancy test. I did it very discreet, you know, because I was so nervous. But at the same time, I was nervous, but then I was like, there's no way I could be pregnant. So I just kind of got that thought out of my head. The first pregnancy test I took said that I was pregnant. From that moment, I started panicking. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go back and get another one. Mind you, I'm spending like at least $20, $30 getting me these pregnancy tests, the good ones. I forgot what they're called, but you know, the good pregnancy test. So I'm over there like buying 2-3 boxes of these. So I went back to the store and I got another test. And then I saw my sister. You know, she was about to leave for work, so she didn't have much time. So I grabbed her. I said, Shamika, come here. I said, the pregnancy test said that I'm pregnant. I said, I'm about to take this second one. Please stay right here. Like, I need you right now. Like, don't go nowhere because I'm so scared. So I take the second pregnancy test, guys. And it came back positive again. I was so, like, hurt. I felt like my life was ended as soon as I found out. After I took the test, and I was very, very, like, you know, sad or whatever. My sister could not believe it. Like, me and her looked at each other like, oh my God, what is, like, I know I'm not pregnant. I said, this cannot be real. I was in such disbelief, guys. I said, damn, like, what's going to hurt me more is that my mom is really, really going to be, like, upset because I felt like she already had known. And I was so nervous to tell her. I was so young. You know, she had a lot in store for me, set me up for, I was in college at the time. You know, I was getting myself prepared for my future. And then something like this happened. So I told my sister, me and her was shocked. And I was just telling her, like, how am I going to tell mommy? And she's basically like, it's no way to tell her. Now, remind you guys, at this point, my sister is already pregnant. She found out she was pregnant. And then a month or two after that, on that day, I found out that I was pregnant. So we would be having our babies around the same time. She said, listen, I had to tell mom, came out and straight told her, you know, that I was pregnant. It's crazy because we're both going to be pregnant and, you know, we all lived together. So it was just like, it was a big deal. But she was just, you know, trying to give me that sisterly love and let me know it was going to be okay. It was going to be okay. But you got to tell her. You cannot hide this. So, you know, I had to think about it, guys. I thought about how I was going to break it down to my mom and my dad. My dad, I'm a daddy's girl. You know, my dad, I knew he was probably going to be upset, but he wasn't going to be upset as my mom. My mom does not play. Like, she, you know, so I was like, okay. I waited for at least about a week to tell her, you know, that I was pregnant. But let me go back a little bit. So after I found out I was pregnant, my sister found out. We were shocked, okay? I keep saying that same part, but it was crazy how it happened. So anyway, so I had called my son's father, and I had let him know that I was pregnant. Now, remind you, we are both young. You know what I mean? So when I called and told him, he really didn't know what to say. We were young, so I can understand. He was scared. He was nervous. He didn't know what to say. I was just crying over the phone. His mom ended up calling me back, telling me it's going to be all right, this, that, and the third. And then that was settled. At this point, my symptoms is getting worse. I'm starting not to be able to eat certain things. I'm starting to throw up certain things. And my mom is like noticing it, but I'm not telling her that I'm pregnant. I didn't tell her I was pregnant yet. So I go in the room. She's watching Family Feud or whatever. So I said, oh man. So I go in here. I said, I got to tell her. And right now I feel like this is the time to tell her. So I go in the room or whatever. Sit down. I'm like, Mom. I said, I got to tell you something. She was like, she looked like this. She like this. What is it? Like, she knew. I felt like she knew, but she already did, though. I'm telling y'all, she been knew I was pregnant. Like, she knew it, especially when I came to her and said my nipples were very sensitive. She knew right there for sure that I was pregnant. I could tell. She said, what is it, Tanisha? I said, I'm pregnant, Mom. Like, and I just started crying. I started crying. I'm telling her. And she was like, I knew it. She said, I knew you was pregnant. She said, I had a dream and everything. One of y'all was having a little boy. And she told me the complexion of the little boy and everything down to the T. And I did not know what the dream was about at the time because I just felt like I wasn't pregnant at all. So she was just basically like, she was like, yeah. She said, I've been knew that you were pregnant. I had the dream and everything. So, you know, that's what it is. Like, and she tried to act like it wasn't a big deal to her, but I can tell, like, deep down inside, she was hurt. She was excited because eventually, you know, as time went on, you know, she was there 100% for me through my whole pregnancy. She was just excited as I was. But that first time telling her, you know, it was a lot for her because she wanted so much for me. And I'm only 19. At the time, I was only 19 years old. So I just walked out and I didn't even say nothing else to her. I didn't turn back or anything. I just left the room and I was broken down crying or whatever. So after I got over that, I went and told my dad. I said, Dad, and this was hilarious the way I told him because, all right, so my mom knows. So I'm trying to get to him before she does. Before my mom does, because I know she was going to run upstairs and be like, well, you know, Tanisha's pregnant, So I said, listen, I got to go tell my dad now. So I go in the room, but my dad is so much more chill than my mom. I love both of them dearly. But my dad, like, he always on my side or whatever. So I go in there, I said, Dad, listen. I said, I got to tell you something. And I call him Ebba. Me and his nickname that we call each other is Ebba from Ebenezer Scrooge because we always used to watch that when I was a kid growing up around Christmas time. So we just ended up calling each other Ebba. So I said, Ebenezer. He was like, Ebba, what's going on or whatever. I said, Dad, I just kept laughing though. Like, my mood changed when I told my dad. Like, so I'm like, Dad, I don't know how to say this. He said, what? He said, go ahead and tell me. In a way, like, I was hesitating. He thought it was something so big, like so much bigger than what he thought. I had robbed a bank or something like that. Like, the way I came to him, I was like, Dad. Oh, I said, Ebenezer, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know. And he was like, what's wrong? He said, what is it? You can tell me anything. You know that. Da-da-da. So I literally, guys, I'm telling you, I didn't say nothing to my dad about this. I was hesitating for about 10 minutes, like. So I said, Dad, I'm pregnant. He was like, you pregnant? He said, that's what you was trying to tell me? He was like, it's all right. He said, it happens. He said, now you just got to raise your child. Make sure that you raise your child right. You and your child's father, not my son, because nobody knew what it was at this point. My mom knew that I was having a boy because she dreamed it. But, like, we was just sitting there. I was like, oh my God, like he's taking this so well. I was actually shocked because I thought he was going to be just slightly pissed at me. He was excited. Like, he was like, oh, that ain't nothing. He said, I'm about to have a little grandchild. He said, and Shamika's pregnant too. He said, so your baby's going to be here around the same time. He said, this is good or whatever. So as time went on, I had a rough pregnancy. And y'all know how it go. Like, when one person know about something in the family, everybody end up knowing. So once I told my mom, I know my mom told my grandma. I told my dad, I know my dad. He got half of my family on my dad's side is from North Carolina. So I know he told all of them down there, because then they started calling me, congratulating me and everything. Time went on or whatever. Me and my sister is pregnant at this point. And it was definitely a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? My sister and I's children are 5 months apart. My sister's, my niece, her birthday is in March, and my son's birthday is in August. So we literally got pregnant like around the same time, like closer to the same time. But our kids can grow up together, and that's what, that's what I love about the whole situation. But through the whole pregnancy, guys, because it was definitely a lot of downs, it was definitely not fun. And also, I was pregnant when it was hot outside, so that was terrible, y'all. It was terrible, but I'd do it over again for my son. That's how much I love him. But I said that to say my family was very, very supportive with everything that I was experiencing. They was there, especially my mom. Like, she was there, even though she was pissed at the beginning. She ended up coming around. She was so excited for the baby, and I was too, and, she just made me feel better, and she was just there 100%, so I really appreciate that. That's why I love my mom so much. But, yes, guys, that's how I found out that I had Najee, and when I had him, he was, I had him at the hospital. He was 8 pounds, 1 ounce. I had him at 7:59 p.m., and he was just so stinking cute, and, like, listen, when he came out, y'all, I thought it was a Chinese baby because I had a C-section. They told me that my birth canal was too narrow for Najee to even come out. They was like, even if Najee was 6 pounds, he wouldn't have been able to come out. It was just too narrow. My, birth canal is too narrow. So they said, we're going to have to give you a C-section. When they told me that, I was nervous, but I was like, thank you, God, I ain't got to push him out natural, because, listen, I couldn't fathom that in my head, like, oh, wow, I'm going to be pushing out a baby down there. I just never could, so God, let me, get a little break with that. But listen, so, I ended up having a C-section, whatever. So it's me and his dad in the surgery in a room or whatever, and the doctors, of course. So when they had, when they had got Najee out, like, they cut me open, whatever, I couldn't feel anything either. That's the blessing of it all. I couldn't feel nothing. Her Najee start crying. I started instantly crying or whatever. So my son's father, because they had to hurry up and go over there and wash him. They were gonna let me and my son's father see Najee after they had washed him off and stuff like that, to make sure he was okay and everything. So as soon as me and my son's father heard, his cry, we just got emotional, started looking at each other. And it was just a beautiful little moment there. But I was so excited, and I was crying at the same time, because, like, it was just so crazy, like, he's actually here. But I wanted to tell y'all, when he came out, that little boy, Najee, looked like he was Chinese, guys. I'm not lying. His hair was so straight. It was so slick. He has some beautiful curly hair now, because his hair is like his mama's. Y'all see that? My hair is super wavy, super wavy. But anyway, he came out. We saw how he looked. First of all, he was very light. But you know how kids, they don't get their color until a little later. So he's a fresh baby. He came out. He was chunky. He had some fat cheeks. He had some big ears. And his ears were dark around, like, this area. But the rest of him was light, and he was so hairy, and his dad is so hairy, and he had the same eyebrows as his dad. His eyebrows all thick or whatever like his dad, but he was so cute. But he looked Chinese. His eyes was chunky. His eyes was like that. I was like, oh my God. So me and my son's father looking at each other like, is this our baby? Like, it was so funny, because it was like, why? Like, damn, because me and my son's father, like, I'm chocolate. My son's father is like a shade or two lighter than me, but we're both on the, like, the browner spectrum. We're a little browner. So it's like, what in the heck, what did we create? But he was gorgeous, but it was like, is he Chinese? I thought he was going to come out all nice and chocolate and stuff like that. But either way, you know, I loved them. I would have loved them. We loved them anyway. So that was just so funny. We always talk about that because that was funny. We was like, is he ours? Like, dang, this boy is. So the doctor was like, y'all got a handsome little fella here with a head full of hair or whatever. So I was like, woo, he's going to be a problem. I already knew. He was officially here. My pregnancy, like I said, it had a lot of ups and downs. But that's really the whole story of how I found out I was pregnant up until when I actually had Najee. And I'm so glad that he's here. Like, my family, everybody, they love him. Like, he's a really great kid, guys. He's a great kid. But I'm glad I was able to share that story with y'all. I do have to go to work, however. I just wanted to get in a little story time with you guys. There will be more videos to come. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nesh and Notch. And thank you guys for all the love. And continue to support us, guys. We love you guys. And stay on the lookout for some more nice exclusive videos.